In 1920, after 70 years of marches, petitions, and protests, the first women's movement won the right to vote. All across the United States, women could cast their ballots for whomever they chose. Women found the new right euphoric, and some took on new struggles: the right to equal work, equal pay, equal education. But the Depression, World War II, and the Korean War put these struggles on hold. Then, in 1963, everything changed when a journalist turned housewife wrote a startling book, The Feminine Mystique. Almost overnight, a second women's movement was born. The author was Betty Friedan.
Women in many age groups are working outside the home, but most of them are working at low-paid, relatively low-skilled jobs, often in a dead end from professional advancement, and they are not really taking part in the decision-making areas of American life in anything except token numbers.
During World War II, women joined the workforce in the millions. But when the soldiers came home, these women lost their jobs and returned to raising their families. However, many felt stifled. They wanted more than a career raising a family and doing housework. But they were shut out of the job market, discriminated against in education, and those who did find work as professionals discovered they earned far less than their male counterparts. Then in 1961, President John Kennedy created the President's Commission on the Status of Women and appointed Eleanor Roosevelt as its chairwoman. 2 years later, the Commission's report substantiated discrimination of women in the workplace and made specific recommendations: fair hiring practices, paid maternity leave, and affordable child care. At the same time, Betty Friedan published her famous book, The Feminine Mystique. Betty Friedan would transform herself from a college-educated woman staying home to raise 3 children to a spokeswoman for the feminist movement. Born Betty Naomi Goldstein on February 4, 1921, in Peoria, Illinois, she graduated summa cum laude from Smith College in 1942, and after a year of graduate work, became a reporter. In 1947, she married Carl Friedan, freelancing for women's magazines while raising the couple's 3 children. In 1957, she felt unfulfilled as a housewife and wanted to do something else with her life. Friedan sent a questionnaire to her Smith classmates. What she found was that she wasn't alone. Her classmates were also dissatisfied with their role in American society. They had more to offer. From these responses came The Feminine Mystique. The book described what Friedan termed the problem that has no name, the need many women felt to escape from traditional roles as society dictated. They wanted the opportunity to fulfill themselves with rewarding careers in medicine, law, teaching, and business. The response was electric. The book sold over 3 million copies, and it helped launch the new women's movement, making Betty Friedan one of the movement's modern-day feminist leaders. Friedan went on to co-found NOW, the National Organization for Women, in 1966, and was its first president until 1970. In the years that followed, other feminist leaders emerged, including Gloria Steinem, the founder of Ms. Magazine, and Bella Abzug, who opened doors for women, first as a lawyer and then as a U.S. representative from New York. But Betty Friedan remained a driving force in the women's movement. In the arena of 20th century politics, the new women's movement joined the ranks of the special interest groups: labor, minority rights, Christian conservatives, environmentalists. Now, in the 21st century, the nation's leadership must take the pulse of these powerful lobbying organizations on every issue and decision. As for Betty Friedan, at the turn of the millennium, she continued as a feminist and a force in the women's movement, advocating economic equality as an essential route to empowerment for women.